What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. I know it's been a little while, been backed up with the holidays and everything else that's been going on, but we're getting back into a schedule and getting back into getting more Destiny 2 videos out here for you. So today's video is going to be solely around the new light, which is for new players to the game. And I wanted to create a video to show kind of a basic introduction on how the armor system works in Destiny 2. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get to it. So, before we get into armor, the one thing you have to note is that all Guardians have stats, right? There's a stat for each different stat. Okay? So, you have a mobility stat, which is your movement speed, resilience for your damage that you can take, your recovery for how quickly your health renews, your discipline, which goes for your grenade cooldowns. Your intellect has to do with your super cooldown, which is your super power that you have. And then last but not least, your strength, which is going to be your melee cooldown. So depending on how you want to play your character, depending on what stat you want to go for, you want to pay attention to the armor that you're keeping or the armor that you want to go with. So each piece of armor will roll with random stats. So you can see this one has 17, 6, 26, 27 for a total of 76. A lot of good armor is going to roll with like 60 to 70, and then you can upgrade it from there, as well as Masterwork it, which we'll get into that here in a second. So with that portion said, we can go into the armor and we can show you the rest of it. So armor is also going to have a certain amount of energy that is rolled with it, and that energy will be either arc, solar, or void. Now you can change the affinity, the energy type that's on that piece of armor, if you have mods that are a specific energy type that you want to use. And I'll show that as well here in a second. So you can have a max of 10 energy on a piece of armor. Like I said, typically they roll with a couple, like 2 or 3 energy already stored. To get more energy, you'll have to upgrade it, which costs Glimmer, Legendary Shards, and Enhancement Cores. When you get up to tiers 8, I believe, it might even be tier 7. It's going to get more expensive. It'll cost more Enhancement Cores, more shards, and I believe at one point it does end up costing an enchantment prism, which you'll have to grind those out. So with the energy that's stored, if we take this one away for a second to show you, you can see I have 6 total energy on this piece of armor. Only 3 of them are being used. You can tell by the squares. So I can use that to purchase. Say I want to increase my mobility by 10. I can add that, and now I've used up all 6 slots of energy on that armor. So what I was getting at with the different affinities, the solar, arc, and void, you can see I have a mod here, this dynamo mod. It requires 4 void energy. So this piece of armor would have to be utilizing void energy for its affinity. Okay? Stay with me. So you can see I also have this void armor mod, and so on and so forth. So each of these mods have a number in the top right corner. That is the number of energy that it needs to use. So you can see this one has 3. This one has 3. That's 6 total. I've used up all of my energy that's available. Now there are different mods you can combine to do different things. There's Charged with Light, which when you pick up Orbs of Light, which you'll see little glowing orbs on the ground, you can pick those up. It gives you a buff called Charged with Light. And how that can be used is with another mod that I have. I gotta think of where it is. I have another mod called Lucent Blade. So when I get those Charged with Lights buff, I can use that with this mod with my sword attacks. So you can see here it says, while charged with light, dealing damage with a sword gives you a bonus sword damage for 5 seconds, consuming 1 stack of Charged with Light. So it is complex, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. So you can see for me to masterwork this piece of armor, as I mentioned earlier, this actually costs an Ascendant Shard to get it upgraded the whole way. The benefit of masterworking armor is you will actually get a +2 stat increase on every stat on that piece of armor. So you'll get a total of 12 for the whole piece of armor. So that's pretty much a really quick run through. The only other thing you want to pay attention to is if you find a piece of armor with a roll that you want to keep, you want to infuse that armor with higher pieces of armor that drop. So you can see this one I have currently is a 1242. If I wanted to, I can infuse this, which costs an upgrade module. It's another thing you'll have to grind and purchase. you can use this upgrade module to bring this 7th Seraph Cloak that I'm wearing right now from 1242, it'll upgrade it to a 1241 power level. So that's how you rank up in power. You do the same thing with weapons as well. You find weapons that you like that are good rolls that you want to keep. You get a higher drop weapon, or in this case, we're talking about armor. You can infuse it. So basically, you dismantle the higher valued item, and it upgrades your current item that you're upgrading. All right. So that's a quick run through of armor. I tried to squeeze this into 5 minutes as best I could, but it's a little hard just because the armor is, you know, it's a complex game. Not too complex when you get the hang of it, but I figured this guide might help a little bit as far as what things to look out for. We'll probably do another video going more in depth into mods. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked, please leave a like down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think and if it helped you. And as always, we'll see you next time.